I said, I've never seen that fish before in my life. We didn't see you guys there. Welcome to another Big Al's variety show.
And inside joke.
So this is our variety show. We've done one before where, we had not just the live Q&A, which this will be.
Right.
But also we have the React. Yep. So we have a bunch of the photos that our subs sent in, and you will see them for the very first time and react to them. And we have a bunch of other stuff that we're going to do today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope everyone's doing well. You guys, throw in the chat. Tell us where you guys are watching from. I've seen a couple here. I
saw India.
India, Iraq. What else? India, Iraq. Let us know where you guys are from. We would appreciate that. It's always nice knowing where people are watching us from. Canada.
Nice.
Hey, all right. Another Canada. Iowa. India. Another India. Maybe the same India. Just the USA. That's not very patriotic. Just the USA. Nebraska. Ontario. Toronto. Chicago.
Pennsylvania.
New Jersey.
Minnesota.
Cool. UK. Canada. Austin, Nova Scotia.
India again.
Oh, yeah, that's my neighbor, a couple doors down.
India
that's
represent.
That's got to be Alex watching.
Louisiana.
Santa Ana. Cool. London, England.
Nice.
Holy cow, very cool.
Arizona.
Yeah.
I want to go to Arizona. My friends have been, and they sent pictures, and I was like, I want to go there.
Yeah?
It looks really nice. Arizona looks amazing.
Road trip.
Whoa, let's do it.
Well, yes, thank you from wherever you're watching from. Thank you for watching. For the live Q&A portion, we'll quickly go over it in case you haven't been here before for that. The live Q&A, we do answer as in sequence as possible. For the variety show, it's a little harder because there's so much bouncing around. I may not be able to keep it in sequence, so we'll try our best, but if we miss your question, sorry. If Super Chat, we'll definitely get to your question, so if you need something answered, definitely do that. We do also appreciate that support. What else? Anything that's super specific about your pet? If there's like some kind of condition or ailment that they're suffering from, illness, whatever, give as much context as possible, and that'll help him answer as clearly as he can. But of course, there's always instances where
I will always deflect to our support team so that you can send in the information to them as well. The thing is with illnesses, it's going to be a bit of a discourse. We got to go back and forth and talk about what's happening, and it's hard to do that in this format. So we like to see pictures and stuff too, but either way, I'll do what I can, and then we'll also get you to contact support so that we can help you remedy your problem properly.
Yep. All right, sounds good.
And questions about like openly crazy open questions about what fish you should put in your tank. If it's a very specific situation, you have certain fish already, you're trying to decide between some other fish or something like that, I'm happy to answer. If you're just like, I have 20 gallons, what fish should I put? I'm not going to answer that. I'll tell you why. Because half the fun is going to your local fish store and looking around at what inspires you. Take one of the workers at that store and have them answer some questions about whether or not those fish are appropriate for your tank. But discover what speaks to you. Don't just put a fish in your tank because I think it's cool. That's silly. Yeah. Unless you're going to name it Thomas.
Which you should, obviously. There's really no other option.
Definitely.
Yes. But blanket answer right there. So anything that comes in
go get inspired.
Yes, anything that says, what fish should I put in my 20-gallon? Sorry, guys. We're going to pass over that today. So you wanted to jump right in? Oh, no. We have a couple updates.
Yes.
So the giveaway, the 100K giveaway.
Oh, that was so fun.
That was a lot of fun, and we've been in the process. Our head office has been in the process of contacting all the official winners.
Yep.
We have someone here, Glenn Tusherer, who says, "Hey guys, I received the Philstar canister filter I won in your 100,000 giveaway. Thanks. That's awesome. I'm glad that you have that. Send us a photo. Once
we'd
it's all
love
set
to
up,
see it.
send it put on. You can either send it to Brian@bigals.com, or you can upload it to our Facebook page, and we can see it there, and then we'll maybe even share it in our next live stream.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome. We're really glad you got that. Congratulations. That was a lot of fun. And,
it was awesome. Anybody who has won a Polyp Slabs prize pack, an Akamai prize, or chat sessions with me, just so you know, we're just booking all those chat sessions as we reach out to you guys. We're trying to accommodate you as best we can. I want to make sure that we have the time to do it, even if you're in a weird time zone. And anybody who won Polyp Labs or Akamai stuff, I'm going to be shipping that from my home personally to you, and that'll probably be leaving on Monday, and I'll make sure that I get tracking and everything to send all that to you guys so you know when it's going to come. Sorry for the delay. I'm just trying to get all the ducks in a row.
That's right, yeah. And the video chat for all of our worldwide subscribers, we've actually, as soon as this stream is done, we're going to be chatting with someone from the UK. We're going to call her up and speak with her. I'm not sure if she's Liz Moss, if you're here in the chat yet, but chatting with you soon. And potentially another winner. He hasn't accepted our Skype invitation yet.
Well, hurry up, sir.
So we can't actually call you until you do, because we don't know your Skype info. So check Skype or check my email to you, accept that link, and then we'll call you after this as well.
Yep.
And then we're waiting on contacts from other people to get back to us. So lots of fun upcoming. Before we get into anything else, let's do a quick update on your basement, by the way.
Yeah, the studio.
Yeah. So I'll put this up so everyone can see, and you kind of tell us where you're at.
Cool. So it has been way too long, over a month now, but they obviously not long ago tore everything out. Then there was a huge lull, like 3 weeks or so, and then the drywallers came and got the drywall all done up on the bottom there. So we have walls again that go all the way to the floor, and the painters have started and they've primed the basement. So the new paint is going up real soon. I'm suspecting it'll be finished next week, the painting, and then it's floors and baseboards and trim, and we can get back to our studio and our build and all of our regular content, which I'm super excited about. And also that Pokemon themed reef build, courtesy of Adaptive Reef and Ecotech Marine. That is going to be phenomenal. So it's going to be so much fun, and I'm really excited for it. And I just want to let you guys know where the studio's at and how soon we are to getting back to our regular stuff, our fun stuff. Not that sitting in Brian's basement with our cool backdropp here.
This isn't a basement. This is a studio. This is a professional video studio.
That happens to be in your basement. Doesn't mean it's not professional.
That's fair.
But yeah. So we're gonna have our full blown thing real soon.
Yeah. Sorry, my computer here, our monitoring computer, is kind of going nuts
haywire
here. But I think we're live, so that's good. No one's complained yet. Someone says we're both having super great hair days.
Oh,
so
you know what? I was telling Brian just before we started streaming that he's lurking. Look, he's also lurking.
I'm also lurking, but I'm
looking dapper.
Trying my best today. Got a new haircut.
I like it.
And bought a blow dryer for the first time in my 32 years.
I've been using my wife's blow dryer.
My wife doesn't have one. Yeah,
which one did you get?
The cheapest one I could find.
Oh,
it cost like $15. I'm like, that'll do.
Honestly, all it's got to do is blow hot air. I was half considering using my heat gun, but then I realized I would probably just burn my hair.
your eyebrows and hair.
But so my wife was kind enough to let me start using hers, so I am officially blow drying my hair now, which is not something I used to do.
Both of us are. Oh, great. Wonderful.
Look at us! All concerned about our looks.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, my computer's been messing up, so a lot of your questions actually got refreshed out of the chat. So if you put questions in already, do it again, because unfortunately the computer went berserk. So Fat Rabbit's here. Heck yeah, he made it this week.
Buddy, welcome.
Fat Rabbit in the house. All right, so let's see. Hey Thomas, let's do the first question. Let's start with the question. Hey Thomas, can I use garden artificial grass in my aquarium from the UK?
Garden artificial grass? You mean like those like AstroTurf? No.
It's a hard no.
I wouldn't do it. I don't know what they make AstroTurf and stuff out of, but I would be willing to bet that they are not aquarium safe materials, or could have any number of residues or manufacturing byproducts on them that you wouldn't want to put in your tank. I don't think I've ever seen a tank with AstroTurf in it. However, there are all kinds of carpeting plastic plants, like they call them usually aquarium mats. And it's various different types of plants, but in a carpet format. They're usually in squares. They can even link together, and you can make that the bottom of your tank. So I would maybe go that route. I'm super leery of using anything that hasn't already been tested for aquariums or isn't safe to eat off of. And I'm guessing that they don't recommend you eat off the AstroTurf. If it's not food grade, don't use it.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Jason Dean, hey guys, I won the Pro Clear Aquatics 53-gallon tank.
Yes!
The tank is awesome. I can't wait to put fish in it.
Did you get it already?
Yeah, have you received it? Because we'd love to see photos of that too. Like, here, I'm going to put my email. Anyone who won something.
If you get it to us fast enough, maybe we'll put it into this.
Yeah, if you can get a picture to me now, you might be able to actually put it on the stream so everyone can see it in your home.
You don't have to be in it or anything, but if you want to be, that's cool too.
Yeah, that's cool too. So, if you want a prize, email that to me right now. And
Jason, let me tell you how excited I was when I found out we were going to be able to give that away, and how excited I am for you to have it. Like, I am so stoked. I know it's a really nice tank. Brian, for the first time, just saw those cylinders in person when he went
I saw this tank in person. I went, wait, this is the Pro Clear one? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what? That is bananas. Like I saw lots of photos of it and doing the contest and graphics and stuff, but seeing it in person, the sheer size of it, I was like, wow, that is huge and amazing. It's a really cool tank. So congrats, man, and thank you to Pro Clear for that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Holy cow, that was great.
Let us know what you're going to put in it. I want to know everything you're going to do with it. I'm super curious. Anyway,
okay, another question. Hey, guys, was given a 20H.
20 high, sure.
Sure, okay, great. You know the lingo. Looking at dwarf gourami, a coolie loach, or two. Wanted some live bears, too. Which would be more appropriate? Dalmatian mollies, Mickey Mouse platies, or is mix okay?
Realistically, a mix is okay. I would say, like, personally, I love swordtails for live bears. I love swordtails. But platies are also cool. Mollies are great. They're all pretty decent algae eaters. Mollies are particularly decent at it. You could even do guppies, really, if you wanted to. So, but yeah, it's your call. Live bears are pretty forgiving for the most part. Platies are excellent. There's a lot of variety across the board, and they're all going to get along relatively well.
Sweet. John B., who is a long-time subscriber and viewer here, says, I have green water.
Uh-oh.
Parameters are fine. Did a water change 3 days after I cleaned the canister, but the green came back. Lights are on for a minimal time a day, only a few hours. Please help.
John B., do you happen to have any daylight from a window at any time during the day hitting that tank? For example, I have very purposefully recently created green water to the point where I can't see my hand when I stick it in the tank. It is pea soup in there. It's gross. So here's the thing. This is what I found. The tank is in a spot that I created this green water in that is not directly in front of a window. It's actually on a wall beside a window. But for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours during the day, it gets direct sunlight. It's about first thing in the morning. That window is kind of facing southeast, I guess. I don't know, something like that. But it gets about an hour and a half to 2 hours of direct sunlight at most in the morning, and that's all it took for it to turn into pea soup over the course of about 3 weeks. So if you have I don't know if you have a window, you can let me know and I can try to tackle this for you again. But that could very easily be doing it. And most people don't realize because, half the year, nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden you have green water.
He says that, yes, beside the window, no direct sunlight, has been there for 2 years, only recently.
Yeah, so it could be a number of things. A, the window could definitely be playing a role. B, the amount of nutrients that are currently in the water, and they might not be things you're testing for, so you'd want to test for silicates and phosphates as well. Could be playing a role in green water. The other thing is that once green water starts, the algae is already in the water, so it replicates quite easily. Algae is just very easy to grow. It doesn't take a lot of effort. So what may actually be the most beneficial is blacking out the tank for a few days so the algae gets zero light for like 3 days and then dies. Once all the algae is dead, it's a lot less likely to come back. But once you start getting green water, it's like a compounding issue because it just replicates so fast. So other than testing for things like phosphates and silicates, you can also black out the tank. If you have live plants, they should be okay for a few days. But yeah. That's where I would start. The only other very aggressive and expensive option is a UV sterilizer, which will work 100%. It will absolutely work. But if we can do it without that, that's even better.
Cool. Someone wants to know, can you start a reef setup series? Haven't been playing along this whole time.
I'm going to do it.
So if you haven't seen, on our channel, we recently did a video for a brand new build. It's going to be a Pokemon-themed reef aquarium, courtesy of Adaptive Reef, who were Kyle, elder of Adaptive Reef, was very generous, reached out to me after the whole Dorian fiasco and offered to replace my personal aquarium that was destroyed in the process of my basement being flooded by Dorian. And that tank is going to be a very, very cool mixture of a reef aquarium and a vivarium. So if you want to see some reefy goodness, we're going to be doing some reefing in that tank.
Yeah.
We'll also probably be doing a reef in a Red Sea tank.
Yep.
So there's going to be a bunch of salt water coming. I know we haven't done a lot of salt water on the channel recently, but it's going to very quickly feel like that's all we do.
Yes.
So yeah, it's absolutely coming. And just also an update for you guys, the high-tech planet tank I'm going to have to restart, unfortunately.
From scratch?
The carpet did not like being introduced to water and then having that water removed.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, I know.
Shocker.
Lots of die-off. So unfortunately, that's going to get restarted. But the low-tech tank is still doing fine.
Great. Okay.
So, but yeah, it's going to feel like a saltwater channel real quick. And then we'll get back to the freshwater stuff.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm excited nonetheless.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. And all you guys who are, the freshwater people, stick around. It's still going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We're still going to keep doing all kinds of freshwater videos. But for builds, we're going to head off a big saltwater one first and then the vivarium.
But it'll be a lot of fun, so you should watch them anyway.
Oh, man. Absolutely.
Hey, guys. I have a new aquarium, which is 4 weeks old. There are small dust particles floating in the tank. I'm unable to remove them. There's only sand and 2 plants. There's only sand and 2 plants in the aquarium without a fish.
Yeah, so it's really, really, really normal, very common to have small particulate matter floating in your aquarium. It is likely dust. There's dust in your house. There's dust in the air. It lands in the tank via the small cracks here and there. If you have an open up tank, it happens a lot quicker. The way you get rid of those small particulates is by using a floss or felt style pad to help remove fine particulate matter. So it's a mechanical filtration. There's lots of them out there. We have ones from Sephora. We've got, I think, Coralife. Just various micron pads will do a very, very good job. You have to keep in mind, though, because they filter out such fine material, they bog up very quickly. So there's something I recommend using on a regular basis, but not all the time. So as a part of scheduled maintenance, like maybe once a week, throw your polishing pad in there, your super fine polishing pad, whether it's a micron filter or just floss, let it do its thing, throw it away, and then put some new stuff in. Or with, I think, the Coralife, if we still have them, I don't know. But if you get a micron pad, those pads you can very often rinse multiple times and clean out and then reuse. Whereas floss, every time you use it, you can't rinse it. It just pulls apart after. And then it doesn't pull those really fine particulates out. But yeah, do that. it's a good way to do things. We actually have a how to do crystal clear water video as well.
We do. We've linked it a ton of times. I'll find it again here and I'll send it off.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I got to grab my other phone because it's my old phone because it's got my work email on it, and someone said they just sent us a photo of not the Pro Clear one. It was the Philstar.
Nice.
Glen. So I'm going to grab that. But
cool.
before I go grab it over there, I will leave you with this. It's not a question, but someone says,
sure.
My cherub angel has missing scales. What could be the cause of that?
Oh, a number of things. So I don't know what other fish you have in your aquarium, but if there's any aggression, which angels are often very aggressive with each other, if you have damsels in the tank that may be aggressive towards a small angelfish, if you have a wrasse like a 6-line or something like that in the tank that could be aggressive towards a small angel, the scales could be missing from a tussle. They could be missing because the fish were chasing each other and your cherub angel ran into some rock work. It could be missing because the lights came on very quickly or something happened in the tank that scared that angel and it decided to go flying into the rock work. There's a number of ways fish can knock scales off. Should you be worried about it? Not necessarily, as long as you don't see any like secondary infection on the fish, as long as the fish is eating and moving around normally. A few missing scales isn't the end of the world. Keep an eye on it, but don't freak out, is basically what I'm saying.
Cool. Next up, I've got a couple emails here, so this is great. So I'm going to work on that.
Sweet.
Let's see.
I'm drinking red today.
Me, I've got...
How posh.
I'm drinking blue.
Oh, I've never heard of blue wine.
That tastes very blue indeed. All right, next up.
Blew your mind.
Is 5 rosy barbs too small as a school?
Not really. I mean, rosy barbs... My general thing is like a school of fish is usually 12 or more. Like anything less than 10, and that's not really a school. But... for rosy barbs, they're not like super nervous fish anyways. So you'll get away with it just fine. They'll be okay in a group of 5. I never really worry about rosies. A lot of barbs are okay in small groups.
Cool.
So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yeah.
Now we've got a video on this, which I'll link as well. But just for the sake of our viewers here, what plants would you start with in your first planted aquarium?
African lace plants. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. There's lots of options. If you want something super, super easy, I would say Anubias, particularly Anubias nana, Anubias nana petite, Anubias barderi, Anubias caufifolia. They're all very, very easy plants. They're very robust. They have thick leaves. If they get algae on them, with a piece of paper towel and very gentle circular rubbing, you can take that algae off manually. They deal with fish nipping very easily because the leaves are so rigid and robust. They can deal with very, very low light situations. They can deal with relatively high light situations. They can deal with low nutrients. They can deal with high nutrients. So Anubias in general are great. Another plant I often recommend is Java moss and Java fern. Those are both very, very easy. I would say they're almost as easy as Anubias, maybe a little bit less forgiving, but just a wee bit. If you want something that looks maybe a little bit thinner, there's a trident version of Java fern, and that can look a lot more wispy and a lot bushier than a standard Java fern. So that's another option for you too. I've had great luck with all of those plants. Crypts are often regarded as being very easy plants as well, but I would rate them to be a little bit more difficult than Anubias, Java fern, and Java moss. Jungle val is also very, very easy. I would group that in with the Anubias vals or Anubias, Java moss, Java fern, jungle vals.
All right. Sorry, I'm just getting all these things.
Is that it?
I'm not gonna show you yet.
I want to see it.
Just wait.
Darn.
My tank water temperature is 31 degrees Celsius. Can goldfish survive at this temperature?
31 degrees Celsius. Can goldfish
31.
survive?
That's right.
Here's the thing: goldfish and carp can deal with sub-freezing temperatures as long as there's movement in the water and oxygenation happening, and they don't eat during that time. So, for instance, when people winterize their ponds, people often have ponds in climates that need to get winterized. You have to keep a hole in the ice. The water has to be at least 3 feet deep. Usually 6 feet is better. The fish will generally stay at the bottom. They do not eat at that time. You want to make sure their gut is completely void before they actually go into this kind of hibernative state. And as long as they have that gas exchange that they need, they just slumber basically until springtime, in which case you start feeding them again once the weather warms up enough that they can digest. The problem is when they're in that hibernative state, their stomach doesn't work right. So if they have a bunch of food in it, standard like foods, usually I'll explain in a sec, but it can rot in their stomach and that can cause damage and kill them. So generally when you're in colder temperatures, you feed things like wheat germ, which passes through the fish a lot faster, a lot easier. So there's a lot less likely of them having a full stomach when they're unable to digest properly. I don't know off the top of my head if that's freezing, because, well, quite frankly, I suck at converting Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I'm awful as well.
Unless you mean 32 degrees Celsius, in which case that's very, very warm. And I would say, yeah, because, I mean, our summers can easily get up to that in Canada, and people have ponds outside, and the ponds get warm like that too. They just eat and poop faster. And there's less oxygen in the water the warmer the water gets, so you want more surface agitation to facilitate better oxygenation. So waterfalls, bubblers, they make like industrial bubblers and stuff for ponds for surface agitation, extra water pumps, extra water features. Go nuts. So I've answered both ends of the spectrum.
Fantastic. All right, so number one request. Hit that like button if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to hit it, that would be nice.
Hit that like button, and hopefully the phone that Brian just dropped won't be cracked.
Oh, that was my old one, so I guess who cares? No, that's fine. It's good.
Here I am trying to get us likes, and you're like, don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, no, but also, that's fine. All right, so we have an image sent in.
Woo!
This one is from Glenn. He won this Philstar canister in our giveaway, and he was kind enough to provide us with an image of the actual tank that I guess is going to go on. So looks like he's ready to go.
Awesome!
Yeah.
I hope I like kind of helped you buy a new tank. I hope that's what I'm seeing here, because if that filter made you get another tank.
Yeah,
my job is complete.
Yeah, is this a new tank? I'm just curious.
Or are you like restarting an old one, maybe, or something? Yeah. Either way, super excited for you.
Yeah, very excited, and congratulations on winning that.
Show us when it's all set up.
Yeah, for sure. We'd love to see that again. So, again, send us photos and we can feature that. And then our man Jason Dean snapped a quick video. Let's show that.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got fish in it already, it looks like. Let's see here. Why isn't it playing? I don't know. Let's hear. There we go. And it's going bonkers. It's going bananas. Okay, well, maybe we won't play. Maybe we'll just pause.
Oh, there we go. Oh, no, it's not.
Okay. Well, you're bound to have some technical difficulties.
That's
there
awesome.
We go. Now it's running there. So that's it. That's his tank up and running. He's already got some, looks like some...
Bala sharks, perhaps?
Yeah. Very cool.
Stoked.
Awesome. Congratulations, Jason.
Man, have so much fun with that tank. I know you got a ton of filtration on there. I know the air store, I think, is built into that system as well. So yeah, I'm happy for you, man. That's going to be so much fun.
That is bananas. Yes, again, like I said, seeing that thing in person was mind-blowing.
This would be a great tank if you end up putting plants to put jungle valves in, because they will grow pinned straight up to the surface.
Wow. Super cool. I'm really impressed by that tank. And I look forward to seeing it once you've got it all complete. Send us another video. We'd love to see it.
So glad.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I guess in that vein, do you want to do some react?
Yeah,
let's react.
Let's do it.
Let's react to some stuff here.
Okay.
And I'll get those rolling in a sec here. All right, so we are ready to react. First one is going to be from a video from Ray Rivera. So I'll get it up on the screen so you can look at it first, and then I'll put it up for all of our subs here to watch, all of our viewers.
Okay.
So Ray Rivera. Let's see if my computer doesn't blow up.
Ooh, it's a movie.
It is. So that's Mr. Ray Rivera there. Let me put it up for our guys here. All right, everyone, now you can see that as well. So that's his tank. And of course, I'm prepared here with the write-up. Let me see what his write-up would be. What's your initial thoughts anyway?
That tank's not big enough.
No?
No.
All right, let's see. Any kind of write-up? My babies. Please let me know if you're going to use it and when to show my kids. Well, we're using it, and show your kids.
Yeah, show your kids. Absolutely. So there are things about this tank I really, really enjoy. One, the lighting of the tank creates this really nice kind of ambiance where the background, which is a marine background, I'm pretty sure, with corals and stuff. The lighting for the background and the coloration in the background matches the coloration of the ornaments at the front of the tank, and they have similar textures, like the frog spawn type corals that are in the background are very similar to that bushy plant that's in the center. It's really, really cool in that way. However, I don't know how big this tank is, but I can almost guarantee it's not big enough for those catfish, because those are one of two things. They're either ID sharks, also known as iridescent sharks, or they're emperor sharks. Either way, those fish get massive. When I say massive, we're talking, if it's like the Mekong catfish, which I think is known as an emperor shark, is the other name for it, like hundreds and hundreds of pounds.
Oh, Lord Almighty!
If they're ID sharks, they're definitely going to get like 2 feet. I think. I don't remember the exact length of an ID shark as an adult, but it's very, very big. So those fish are going to need a much, 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 much bigger tank.
Oh my Lord.
I'm glad they're your babies, because that hopefully means that when the time comes, you're going to get them that very, very large aquarium that they're probably going to need.
Yeah, do right by them. Yeah, for sure.
I will say the tank doesn't look tiny, but just based on those plastic plants and stuff, I also know it's not huge, and those fish are going to need a lot more space. They're probably already in that tank becoming stunted just based on their size versus the amount of space that they have and the population in the tank. So you need to upgrade ASAP, or the other way you could go about it is find a different home for those catfish and get something that's going to stay within that aquarium's size for their adult size. The parrot cichlids and I don't remember what that cichlid is called. That other one, I don't remember. I know in my head, but it's not coming out of my mouth. Anyways, you know, that recall issue in your brain. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's really active. It's fun to watch. ID sharks are really cool because they do very much look like a shark compared to a lot of other fish. I love the overall ambiance, and it's set up very like aesthetically pleasing in terms of balance and stuff, especially for a centralized scape. You know, one plant on the left is taller than the plant on the right, so on and so forth. But those fish, my friend, are going to get way too big for that tank.
So upgrade is inevitable.
Definitely.
All right. Well, let's move on. Thanks for sending that in, Ray Rivera. We appreciate that. Let me put up the next one for you, Thomas, and then I'll put it up for our subs. This one is from Nav. There we are. Let me switch over there so they can see it. So Nav says, thanks for the videos you and Thomas create. Thank you for watching. Very informative and entertaining at the same time. I figured I'd submit my tank. It's a fairly new tank. It was fairly new. This is from a year ago. 20 gallon.
Is it a year now?
Yeah, it's been. Yeah, we have 1,100 to go. 70 liter, coming up to 3 months, but I think it's going okay. Stocking, golden bristlenose pleco. 1 golden bristlenose pleco, 2 autocinchus, 3 cardinal tetras, 5 neon tetras, 2 Bolivian rams, 4 salt and pepper cory cats. All the plants are live plants as well.
It's looking good. I like it. I really like it. I love the scape you've got going on so far. It's going to look really nice grown in with plants. I can definitely see where the plants are headed. You've got a really good selection for foreground plants. It looks like dwarf hairgrass or something similar, which is going to grow in nice and bushy right around the base of the rocks and stuff. I love that you've got a little rock cave on the left-hand side, and then the wood is creating like a wooden bridge between the two rocks, or two rock structures. I love that you've gone, I think you've got maybe Rotala or something like that, and maybe Bacopa, and maybe, I'm really bad with plant names, just so you know, and maybe some Ludwigi or something like that in the back. But I love the mix of leaf shapes and textures in the stem plants, as well as the color. So you're going to have this nice vibrant green, just like the foreground in the background, but then also that browny tone that comes from mixing the reddish hues in the plants with the green, and that nice bright vibrant red that's going to come from that as well. The fish look healthy. The cardinals look great. It's just a very nice bright beautiful small planted tank, and I think it's going to go great places. As long as you keep up with the maintenance, you're going to have a beautiful little tank on your hands. And I wish I could see where it is now, because it's been a year.
Yeah.
Because that's how we do. No, it's because you guys send us so much stuff.
1,100 photos to react
I know.
to. It's
It's nuts.
With everything that's been going on lately. It's just been tough. So thank you for sending it in. I'm sure this is completely different.
Yeah.
But looks great nonetheless.
Yeah.
Looks really, really cool.
I love it.
Awesome.
And thank you so much for the kind words.
Yes, of course. Next up, we'll do one more here. We have Andrew, so I'll throw his up on there for you and then let our viewers see it. So this is Andrew's.
Nice.
Yepers. Let me throw it up there so everyone can see. That is Andrew's tank. Now, Andrew says...
Look at the at.
Yep. He says, this is my 20-gal tall planted tank.
Nice.
I have 7 cardinal tetras, 3 panda cories, 3 yellow honey gouramis, and 1 betta. It's my first tank. Had it 2.5 months. Let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts?
I love it. Look. There are purists out there who are going to be like, hey. This is a planted tank. Just keep it natural. Resin ornaments. Look, there is nothing wrong with a well-placed at, or however you want to say it. If you want to Star Wars up your tank, I ain't going to stop you. I love it. So I really love the fact that we've got very beautiful, healthy-looking plants. You made a really good call using what looks like probably Java or flame moss. It's Taxiphyllum or Vesicularia moss of some kind, I'm almost positive, in the front of the tank as your foreground. The reason doing that was such a smart idea is because, A, you have pea gravel. So planting a delicate rooting plant is going to be very difficult in that situation. But moreover, because you've used a moss that will grow on literally any hard surface, it would grow on glass if it had enough texture. The base of your AT is going to be completely covered in Java moss, and it's going to really kind of blend it into what's happening. Fake moss and stuff on the AT could easily get replaced with real Java moss. And obviously, it's going to grow across the gravel and onto the driftwood on the other side of the tank as well. I love that you've got that separation or pathway down the center of the tank. I love that the AT is taller than the driftwood on the opposite side for the bulk of it. Overall, it's just really, really, really nice, and I dig it. The fish, again, look really happy and healthy. I don't see anything wrong there. You've got all your basics. The beta is obviously having a good time. Lots of space to be a beta. Clean water, live plants. I'm digging it.
Yeah,
I love a good theme tank.
Yep, really nice. Thank you, Andrew, for sending that in.
That's a really good example of how you can use a resin ornament or like a fake ornament in a otherwise very natural setup.
Yeah, well,
just to elevate it or personalize it.
Yeah, and the fact that it's got this sort of fake moss going all over it really ties it all in.
It almost looks like the Cardinals are like the pew 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 from the AT-AT.
Yeah.
If the AT-AT wasn't like run down.
Is it at or AT-AT?
I don't know what people say. I always thought it was
AT-AT
until like the recent video game trailers that I've seen for that Jedi video game, and he says at, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What is it?
I like
George
AT-AT.
Lucas. Comment down below.
Answer us now. All right, cool. Well, let's get back into some more general Q&A. Little intro for our viewers. Okay, so
did they hear that the whole time?
I don't know. They'll have to let me know. They shouldn't have if everything is working properly. But okay, let's see here. Let's go back into some questions, guys.
Sweet.
I had a lonely Oscar in my tank for around a year now.
Oh, it says Celsius. I'm an idiot. Anyways, keep going.
Oh, okay. I thought we said Celsius.
Okay.
Anyways, a lonely Oscar in my tank for around a year now, and I really want to add fish with him because the tank looks empty, but he is really aggressive now. So what can I do? Big fan from Iraq.
Nothing. Get rid of him. That's the truth. Like, there's really very little you can do if you have a large aggressive fish in an aquarium and he doesn't want friends.
You either have that fish,
or you just change what you're doing.
And he says a lonely Oscar. Now, is the Oscar really lonely?
No.
Or that's just
projecting.
Yes, okay.
Your Oscar is not lonely. Your Oscar is happy to have his territory, to not be bothered constantly by feeling like he has to defend his territory. And the only thing your Oscar is likely concerned with is you when you walk into the room because you are the thing that feeds him. So I'm assuming it's a boy. But yeah, you walk in, your Oscar's like, oh, there's food. I'm going to go talk to food. So like the idea of fish being lonely is very much just us, projecting how we would feel if we were that fish. But the fact of the matter is that fish probably feels very differently than you think it does.
Yeah.
Most fish are generally just concerned about survival, food source, having their territory, defending it from other fish, and that is like the thing that they care about the most. Breeding obviously is another thing fish care about, but the funny thing about breeding is if there's females and no males around, or the opposite, males with no females around, they don't really care about breeding because there's nothing to stimulate them to get into breeding mode. That is one of the reasons why if you have fish that in breeding season show very vibrant colors, regardless of what time of year it is or the temperature of the water or whatever's going on, if there are no females present or other males to fight over territory to cause them to flare up and show coloration and be dominant, they don't feel like they have to do it. So yeah, your Oscar's probably fine, but if you want to put something in and not have them fight, you should probably just get another fish tank, or think about just switching up what you're doing with your aquarium keeping and maybe try something other than a big angry Oscar. But if you want to keep your Oscar, that's cool too. And I highly recommend you do whatever feels right.
Cool. I'm embarrassed about this. I forgot something right off the top.
My birthday?
Well, yeah, that too.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not my birthday. Oh, welcome to the pumpkin land.
Sustenance for us to get through this stream. Hopefully you guys have some Halloween candy left over too. Just a disclaimer, I did steal this out of my kids' candy.
I don't feel bad. That's your problem.
I'm not going to let them eat all of this themselves. They're 2 years old and 4 years old. If I let them eat all of this, they're going to be running around the house so fast, they're going to leave like little Lucas-sized holes in the door as they run through it. Ah, yes.
What is that thing? That where people are
ASMR or something. Yeah. This is not a good time to do that.
Oh.
Or is it? I don't know. Maybe you guys are into that. I don't
Maybe
know.
like the sound of peanut M&Ms falling on each other.
But I figured we needed sustenance. How did everyone's Halloween go, by the way?
Yeah.
I know yours was rained out.
Yeah, it was super rainy. We still went out though, and I was actually shocked. We went to 4 houses. I live in rural Nova Scotia, keep this in mind. We went to 4 houses and a fire station.
To drop off the kids?
And we had to drive to all of them. Yeah, we don't want these anymore. And my kids came home with like, I'm kidding you not, like 10 pounds of candy between them. I don't know what's going on in Nova Scotia, but it's not like Toronto. In Toronto, you go door to door, you get like one piece of candy. The second you're done, they close the door and you walk on. In Nova Scotia, I was so blown away. They invite you in. They have like baked goods there. They've got like multiple things, sometimes like little sacks of candy already for you. Our next door neighbors, they're amazing. Gave our kids little tins full of candy, plus cans of pop, plus silicone straws for their cans of pop.
No, the cans of pop were always a hit.
Yeah.
I always loved getting the can of pop.
Yeah. No, it's incredible. And then the fire station, they literally walked out with like 15 pieces of like candy and chips and all kinds of stuff just from the fire station. So we went almost nowhere and they came home with so much candy. I'm like, that would have taken me like 3 hours in Toronto.
Yeah.
How did you do? But it's just a different lifestyle here, and it was really heartwarming and really cool
That was nice.
to see that.
Yeah, no,
so it was a lot of fun. The kids absolutely loved it, however short it was.
We made it really well as well. It was a lot of fun. Someone here says, Rachel Yanni says, I found out yesterday, and I'm assuming because of Halloween, that I'm known in my development as the lady with all the fish.
Nice!
That's an awesome rep to have. Good rep. Very cool. Yeah, Halloween was fun for us too. We liked it. All right, so while you're snacking on some sustenance here, I think it's time for everyone's favorite segment. What did Brian learn this week? All right, so what did I learn this week? It's kind of neat, a little surprising, but it turns out that there are certain species of crabs that can actually learn how to navigate a maze and retain knowledge of that maze 2 weeks later. So this is what happened. Researchers took these crabs, put them in aquariums, little mazes, and put like a little mussel at the end as a little tasty treat to say, here, this is what you want to get. Find your way through the maze and get it. For the first, I think they did put them in like for 8 different times. For the first like 5 times, like the crabs, would hit the dead ends or take the wrong way. But after like that, they got really good at it and found the mussel at the end. So they navigated a maze. Cool. That's, unexpected, because the thing is, like, crabs, lobsters, like crustaceans, they have very small brains.
Yeah.
From what I read, like, as far as like neurons are concerned, some of the smallest brains, like, just you would think, okay, there's no real intelligence there in terms of like problem solving or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, they did that and they found them great. And so what they did is, they took the crabs out, put them in some whatever tank for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later put them back in and said, okay, find your way through the maze. And they tested it against crabs that had never done the maze before. And I think the average was the crabs that had never done the maze before took them like 39 minutes to make their way through the maze. The crabs who 2 weeks prior had learned how to do the maze, 8 minutes.
Wow.
They made it through in 8 minutes.
They're like, I remember this.
Oh, this is no problem at all. This is easy.
Hey, I've been to this maze.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know why they didn't, but it specified that the scientists didn't, for the second time, didn't put a mussel at the end of the maze to reward them. So the crabs got there and were like, what's going on here? What?
This is a rip-off. I hate this maze.
But 8 minutes they did it in. After 2 weeks, they retained knowledge of the maze, made it through in 8 minutes. So they're saying like there's a lot more potential there for general intelligence, problem-solving skills, that kind of thing, than would have been previously thought, because their brains are so notoriously tiny.
That's incredible. It
really
actually makes you wonder, like, given how many neurons we have versus these crabs, how much like crazy potential we have for everything, whether it's memory storage and problem solving and everything else. Like, how much of our brains are we actually not using? How much is going on in the background we don't even realize versus these creatures?
Sure.
I wonder though, like, if these crabs are good at this sort of thing because either their ancestors or the species that they're using are the kinds of species that dig tunnels or live inside of rock caverns that are split of
They call them shore
tunnels.
crabs.
Oh, okay.
Shore crabs is what they had specified there, but they said there's like a few different species, but they said they did the test with specifically shore crabs, which I personally don't have much knowledge of their digging or tunneling habits, but...
Right, but like there are species of pistol shrimp that make their homes inside of sponges.
Right,
and stuff under like deep in the waters of the salt, and they have to as well memorize all of these tunnels and caverns and stuff. So I'm wondering, like, maybe there's like a part of their brain that is just predispositioned to being like very good at solving mazes.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's it. At first I was like, obviously they're just following the scent of the thing in the strongest direction and going there. But the fact that they didn't use the muscle the second time, that blew my mind. That's really cool.
Made it through 8 minutes, and then, like I said, the ones who've never done it, 37, 39 minutes. So
that's fascinating.
Really neat. Yeah.
Super fast.
So that's what I learned this week. So a little knowledge for you guys that you can tell that at parties, I guess, if you have
at
no
your next
interesting
cocktail party.
Yes. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's get back to some questions then.
Sounds
now
good.
That that's over with. Question.
Yes.
I have this weird white fuzzy stuff on my driftwood and plants. It almost looks like spider egg sacs. I boiled the wood prior to starting the tank. The plants it's on all died off. So they boiled the wood, put it in their tank, and now it's developed these white spider egg sac like things, and it's killing plants. Any ideas?
The plants it's on died off.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It could be bacterial. Potentially, driftwood will often get a bacterial film on it that looks like kind of like hair. It wouldn't be like a spider sac. It would be like just the whole driftwood got fuzzy, like semi-translucent white floof all over it, which just generally resolves itself. However, sometimes snail eggs get coiled up, can look a little bit like a spider sac depending on the species of snail. A lot of snails, however, like I think apple snails or mystery snails, will actually lay their eggs at the surface of the aquarium, so just above the water line. But there are snails that will lay eggs all over everything inside of the tank. Nerite snails are notorious for that, and their eggs never like hatch in fresh water, and they're like little calcium, like tiny little spider sacs, little calcium boobles that just sit deposited on the driftwood. I'm gonna be honest, without a picture it's really hard to say, because my version of what a spider sac might look like might be a little bit different from what you're envisioning, or a spider sac might just be the closest thing, but to me it might look like cauliflower. I don't know.
We got some people saying maybe fungus or mold. Someone said snail eggs as well.
Yeah, it's possible to be like, there are various kinds of molds that will survive under the water as well as out of the water, but that's usually things like slime mold, which don't normally manifest as a sac. It would look a lot more like a weird, almost like veins growing across the aquarium wall or the driftwood or whatever. I would love to have a more direct answer for you and try to solve that for you. If it's possible to get a picture and send it into our support team, we can definitely drill down to what it actually is. I think it could be a number of things. I think what's being suggested in the chat is fungus or something is also definitely possible. I would largely say it's probably bacterial. Or snail eggs or something to that effect. If you had live plants and you ended up with snails and you just didn't know they're there, that could also explain why your plants are deteriorating, because if they're not thriving, snails will often turn them into a salad bar, and then you may not just have many plants left. Bladder snails can wreak havoc on plants in less than ideal conditions. So yeah, hopefully we figure out what that is. It sounds super interesting though.
Yeah. I have a small breeder box in my guppy tank. I'm not sure at what size I should release my babies into the outside world.
They got to be big enough that they can't fit in the mouths of the rest of the fish in the tank. So keep that in mind. Generally, I don't recommend just letting them out of the breeder box into the aquarium. What I would say is, and not everybody can do this, so I understand if it's not feasible for you, but I would set up another smaller tank, maybe a 10-gallon tank or something, filtration, everything. It can just be a starter kit. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, and grow them out in a separate aquarium so that they're large enough, usually I would say somewhere around 3/4 of an inch, that nothing in the main tank is going to harass them. Otherwise, they could get bullied or get nipped or get pushed around. And when they're small, even at half an inch, they're still fragile enough that it doesn't take a lot to damage them. And if you're going through the trouble of making sure that they survive, you probably wouldn't want to see that happen. So having a separate grow out tank is usually your best bet.
Cool. Let's get back into more Thomas Reacts, yeah?
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Okie dokie. Our next one is from a subscriber named Wing. I'll bring it up for you here. Wing Lu. Let me see if there's any kind of write-up from this person here. Okay, so let me put it up for you here.
Ooh.
Bam.
Oh, nice.
That is from Wing. Now let me put it up for our for our subs here.
Obligatory no fishing sign. I dig it.
You love those, yeah. So
they're fun.
Wing says plenty of platies, mollies, harlequin, rasbora, and cories. So that's all he gave us. That's the only details. So what do you think?
I think it's great. A lot of low maintenance, easy to keep plants.
Lush.
Super lush. Got some various types of crypts. We've got various types of mosses. Nubius, some surface plants, probably some kind of frog bit or something like that. It's so bright up there, I can't really tell. It's beautiful. It's super, super lush. It's got that nice V shape to the center of the tank.
Draws your eye in.
Oh yeah. It's, I love that it's still bright enough, even with all those surface plants, even there's bamboo in the top left-hand corner there sticking in. So there's plants coming out of the tank too, which I'm sure looks really, really nice. There's still so much light pouring in that it's this little like metropolis. It looks like this busy little city,
hustling, bustling,
of little fish enjoying their lives. It looks like some Mickey Mouse platies, some various other platies, some tetras, rasboras, maybe a molly in there. One of my favorites. We've got some what looks like dwarf neon rainbows. I love that. No, like look, I'm a sucker for some traditional aquarium ornaments, and a no fishing sign is one of the most traditional aquarium ornaments out there. So yeah, sure, it's super natural, looks really, really nice, and most people would be like, why would you do that? Why? Because it is traditional and it's hilarious and it's fun all at the same time. It doesn't take away from the display at all. I think it's just tons and tons of fun. You're doing a really good job. I don't really have any constructive feedback for you other than a black round for the tank.
Black round.
If you want one, otherwise I think it looks awesome the way it is. I see that there's actually, if you look at the back of the tank, it looks like there's a white grid. If you blow it up a little bit, that white grid is covered in moss. So what they've got going on there is they're trying to create a moss backdrop, and you could actually do that across the entire back of the tank if you wanted to. It looks like it's already
would be
growing
awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a thing that people like to do.
You just blew my mind. That would look incredible.
Yeah. So and people also do it for the foreground of the tank. So you can use that same. It's like a needlepoint plastic grid, and you could do the same and then put it on the floor of the tank, and it becomes a carpet. So
wow,
maybe a magic carpet. So yeah, no, like if you don't want to do a black background because you plan on like showing that off and you like the contrasted white because obviously Java moss is a pretty dark green plant, I get it. I like it. You're doing an awesome job. It's a lot of fun. Lots of places for the fish to hide. I'm sure everybody's super comfy. You could probably get babies growing in that tank without too much effort because they got lots of places to tuck away from all the other fish.
People are liking it too. People here are saying, "Wow, that's such a cool tank. It's got a jungle feel to it."
Yes,
but it looks well taken care of and maintained.
Yep.
Wish I could get my tank as nice as that. This tank is quite interesting. Moss background equals A+. I agree. That's my favorite idea that I've learned. Not that I'm going to get to that point with these necessarily.
You will.
A moss background. I love that idea so much.
We're going to do it. You know what? It would make a really good video, like how to make a moss background.
Oh, yes.
And then we'll use maybe your flex there with the white backdrop, or we could do it in the Aquarium 5-gallon or something. Sure.
Man,
I think the flex is probably the best bet for that.
Yeah, man. For some reason, that invigorated me. That idea, the moss background.
Finally, he's been dragging his heels on these tanks forever.
Dragging my heels, and
good job.
And that inspired me. That's an inspiring idea.
It is. It's tons of fun.
I love that. Okay, cool. Well, holy cow, I am just full of it now. Okay, cool. Well, let's move on to our next one. Great job. Thank you for sending that in, Wing. This next one is from Bolin. Now, let me check the email. Let me make sure there's no, if there's actually any details here for us. Nope, doesn't look like it. We are on our own for this one. So let me show you the tank. That's the tank itself.
Nice fluval edge.
Let me show our viewers. There you go, guys. So this is from Bolin. No details. So what do y'all think? Thomas reacts and our subs react. What do you guys think of this?
It's a familiar tank because I've seen something very similar. It's a really nice format. It's a very interesting tank design. It's not huge or anything. I think it's around 7 gallons, something like that. But it is a tank that lets you see into it from 4 panels. And one of those panels is the top panel, which is really weird. You don't usually see that with a tank. But if you look at the top panel, because the water is touching that top pane of glass, and inside of that little cap that's on top of the tank, the kind of the rim kind of goes up so you can fill past that top pane of glass.
Yeah.
You can see down through the tank
crystal clear
perfectly. There's no water ripples. You get to enjoy your fish from another angle. It's really, really fun.
That's
really cool.
Yeah.
And because of that, it can be awkward to aquascape because you have a very small hole to work inside of. So I like what they've done. I love that they have a simple piece of driftwood, a couple pieces of rocks, a really fun kind of two-tone substrate, a moss ball, a Nubius, and beyond that, it's very, very simple. The small school of neon tetras, it really jumps out against that kind of black and white backdrop. The tank's a little small for a gourami in my opinion, but I think it is a dwarf gourami, dwarf sunset gourami, so it's not going to be a huge fish as long as you're keeping up with water changes and stuff. It's not the end of the world. And then the little auto catfish, the auto sinkless, which I hope you're feeding all kinds of stuff and not just depending on the algae to keep alive. It's a nice little, very simple setup with a very cool form factor and a fun way to kind of add an extra viewing panel. So overall, it's great. I know these tanks, they don't look like they have a lot going on, but they've got their fluval filter in there. The filtration is hidden in the back of the tank behind that cap and everything. You can see just the inlet. It's basically an AquaClear Mini, which is definitely enough for this size tank. Great little setup.
Cool. Let's see what our subs are saying. Wow, stunning, cool. It's a beautiful minimalistic tank.
It is. That's a great way to describe it.
Ooh, I like the lighting, they say. What's the email? I want to send you a picture. Of that white spider sack looking stuff in my tank. Yeah, so if you can get it to us now, maybe we might be able to have a quick look on my email, and maybe Thomas can have a better idea of what it is. So we'll send that the little spider egg sack to brian@bigowls.com. I put it in the chat just now. Let's see. Okay, no, that's it. Yeah, so people seem to like that tank. They think it's pretty nice. So, awesome. All right, well, let's move on to our next one here. This one is from Earl. And again, let me just see if Earl was kind enough to provide us with any context here. Not really, no.
Nobody's talking to me about the tanks.
He sent us a link to his YouTube video to check out some videos, but as far as the actual, no, as far as this, that's about it, just the photo. So, this one is from Earl.
Ah, nice.
Let me put it up for our subs here. Have a look, guys. Let us know what you guys think, too. All right, so, thoughts?
This is a lot of fun. I'm trying to make sure I absorb all of this properly, but...
It's a lot to take in.
Yes, so... This is a very cool little tank. Basically, what I believe we're looking at is it's a vivarium style setup. Sometimes I don't know if you could qualify this as a polydarium, just based on the fact that it's very, very unique. So we've got obviously a vivarium up top. What's sitting on what looks like kind of a lake bed or river bottom on the left hand side, with below that a cave which is lit from the side, right outside of the tank, lit so that you can see what's happening inside of it. The other side on the right there, we've got, again, just that like lake bottom, but then all of a sudden like a sinkhole that goes down into another almost cave that's open from the top.
Yeah, a little chamber. Really cool.
So I don't know where the bottom cave on the left is open from. Like, I don't know how the fish get in and out of it. I'm not 100% sure on that. But obviously there's a fish in it, so they can get there.
Yep.
But it's a very interesting way to do it. So the water is likely...
Quite a few fish in there.
Yeah, the water is looks like it's pouring in from the top right-hand side of the tank, then kind of pouring in to that bigger section, and you can see it even flows over there and pours down again. So I'm guessing the access to this other cave is in the back left-hand corner somewhere or something. It's a little much in terms of processing, like how this is actually functioning, but it is a very unique aquarium in that all of these little chambers are separated and they're flowing from one into the next, creating all these weird little nooks and crannies, and it's super cool.
What is this? Algae scraper or something? What is that?
It's either an algae scraper. Yeah, I would guess that's an algae scraper.
Okay.
I was going to say, or the outlet of a power head or something, but it looks like it's outside of the tank.
Yeah, I mean, how else are you gonna, if there's algae in the glass, how else are you gonna get to it? You're gonna need something. And I love how like it looks like they had planned that little spot for it here in the build, right? This little whoop, so they can just keep it up. It's
a little nook to keep it tucked. Yeah.
That's neat.
The pitcher plants are a lot of fun. I'm big into vivariums, and we'll get to play around with vivariums a little bit in the next build. But it's a really I'm first off, gorgeous setup. Very, very cool. Really the vivarium side of it looks wonderful, really lush, very natural. I love that you've planted like the top shelf, and then the caves underneath have some leaves in it for tannins, some sand, just some different like little habitats that the fish can explore. It's a bit of a puzzle to process looking at it, but it is super cool. And now I want to see your YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, we'll have a look. Yeah. So people are saying here, whoa, paludarium, wow, you've got all the biomes going on. Wow. Oh my God, want that. Dang, wicked, impressive. This is absolutely gorgeous. Wish would like to see it from multiple angles.
I agree. Yeah, this is one of those things. Did they send more than one photo or just
no?
The videos?
They just sent it. I mean, I assume on their YouTube channel there may be something to look at.
Yeah.
I didn't want to rip their video.
No, for sure.
We'll end up checking out their channel to see.
Very cool.
Yeah, nice. I've never seen anything like this before. It's fantastic, incredible. Yeah, really cool.
It is super refreshing. As somebody who's been into aquariums as long as I have and seen and done so many different things, it is so refreshing and invigorating to see somebody take a new approach to something, or take an approach to something in such an odd and fantastic way that it just opens up your mind and makes you think about new ways you could even try doing some stuff. So I love it, and you did an amazing job, and I think everybody's feeling that in the chat right now. I can see everybody's amazement with this. You have every right to feel that way because this is really cool.
Yeah, so on YouTube, I on my phone, I opened his YouTube channel. He's just called The Earl, which I love.
The Earl?
The Earl. So yeah, you know what? Go check it out, guys. I mean, he's got a pretty quick update, tank shots from a year ago. So yeah, he shows the tank here that we're looking at. It's from a year ago, so about when he sent this photo to us. Yeah, you know what? That's a really cool video. The Earl.
It's awesome. And they have a fogger too that goes off and creates a fog inside of the vivarium, which would just add another completely amazing dimension. The really cool thing about a fogger in a vivarium with a water body like a paludarium, or in this case, I don't even know what to classify this. This is way too cool. It's funny because you wouldn't see the surface of the water anymore. So if you're looking at it from the top, it would just be this like island floating in mist. Like it could be a fog, and then below it is just like thousands of feet.
Yeah.
You don't know. But from the side, you see that mist is covering the water. So it just creates this really crazy effect.
Yeah, so I've actually linked that video so you guys can go check out his channel. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, like a tank like that's so, like...
It's
complex
innovative.
and innovative. Yeah. Go check out that video. Subscribe to his channel. He's only got 12 subs, 13 now. We just subbed to him. Go check out his channel and sub to this guy.
And I've seen the Earl before in our chats and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I wish he was here, man. Whew. Very cool, man. Awesome. All right. Well, we have another 3, but we'll save those. Actually, I want to see 62 likes.
That's it.
That's it. You know what?
You guys don't like us today?
Let's. I have a special segment planned.
Okay.
But we're not going to do it until we get up to 130 likes.
Okay.
130 likes, and I have a very special segment that I think all of us would have a very fun time with. So.
It's already going up. I think you got to start aiming for more. We're gonna hit that in like 10 seconds.
I'm an underachiever.
I know what's going on. Our subs are awesome, dude. The last time when we get to 200 subs, it happened overnight.
It's because I looked and we had like 60 something. So I think, well, if we've been doing this an hour, we only have 60 likes. I'm not gonna shoot for the moon here.
Yeah, no, that's
maybe
fair.
I should start shooting for the moon. All right. So in the meantime,
maybe even just up the street.
Even just up the street would be good. All right. In the meantime, we'll do a few more questions until we get to that mark.
Sweet.
So more Q&A. Alrighty, so we are back with more Q&A. What are some great tank mates for Oscars, turtles, and common plecos in 150 gallon?
Are those things all together in one tank?
It sounds like it.
I don't usually keep turtles with fish for various reasons. I mean, you can obviously do it, but I just generally don't recommend it. But beyond that, you're basically stuck with other large aggressive or semi-aggressive cichlids that are going to be able to defend themselves against an Oscar. Oscars can be a little bit, as we've even seen earlier in this this particular live Q&A, they can be pretty aggressive at times and very territorial, so it's going to be hard to mix anything else in with them. You could try things like, some of these things are like more aggressive, like jaguar cichlids. You could try, what's it called? Tiger something or other. They're really expensive though. You could try other catfish. You could try like a armored cat, like hopolos. Things are unlikely to mess with hopolo catfish. They're just like little tanks. Yeah, maybe polypterus. They kind of stay to the bottom, keep themselves. Pleco shouldn't care. The Oscar probably won't care. They usually get a decent size. Your turtle hopefully won't bug them. Interesting mix of fish and turtle you have so far.
For sure.
But yeah. But you're at that stage where everything's a proceed with caution. Everything. I can't really recommend anything and be like 100% sure it's just going to do fine. Yeah, you're in a proceed with caution situation. You're looking for other Oscar-ish sized fish or large bottom feeders and stuff like that are unlikely to cause turmoil between your Oscar and themselves and so on and so forth.
Cool. What are the best algae eaters for a community 10 gallon?
Snails are pretty good. Small snails, narite snails. Small shrimp can be pretty good depending on what other fish are in your community. If it's a 10 gallon, you should be able to get away with a mono shrimp just fine. I don't think anything will be big enough in that tank to mess with a mono shrimp. Full size, they're pretty hefty for a shrimp. What else? You could probably get away with 1 or 2 autosynclus catfish. However, they need to be fed things other than just algae, so you got to make sure you're meeting all of their needs. And I do generally prefer to keep them in slightly larger tanks than that, but you can do it. I would lean heavily on a mono shrimp and small snails like nerites and stuff. That's probably where I would point you. Other than that, you're looking at things like mollies. Mollies do a pretty good job of cleaning up algae. That's it. I'm done.
Cool. All right. Our first super chat.
2?
Oh, 2 super chats.
What?
Okay. All right, so let's start with number
this.
1. Again, super chat is a great way if you have a question that you want bumped up and you want us to definitely get to. Super chat's the way to do it, and we do appreciate the support. So Apex Fizz, Thank you. How do you calculate bioload, or how much biological media will be needed? I understand it depends on a few variables, but is there a good rule of thumb to go by?
As much as you can conceivably fit in your filter without it not providing enough room for the chemical and mechanical filtration you want to put in there. You can't have too much biological filtration, because whatever your capacity is in bacteria, if the tank's only sustaining X bacteria, you'll just have some unused biomedia, or just will be more sparsely colonized. But it's better to run the risk of having more biomedia than you need than not enough.
Right.
So my rule of thumb is I just load it up. Load it up! You can also follow the directions on the biomedia. A lot of manufacturers will give you a surface area and tell you what they recommend for their media versus the size of the aquarium. And also keep in mind that most people overstock their tanks. So, they might say you need, 2 liters of our media per 100 gallons of water. But if you're going to treat that 100-gallon tank more like a 200-gallon tank in terms of fish density, which you shouldn't, but let's say you do, like an African cichlid tank, for instance, you want to double up on the biomedia. You want to treat it as if the aquarium's bigger. So that's really all you have to do. Use as much as you can, use a high quality biomedia with a great surface area, follow their directions, but also keep in mind your tendency as an aquarist and whether or not you plan on stocking the bejesus out of your aquarium. And if you've got like a really good planted aquarium, or if it's a reef aquarium, then things change a little bit, because your plants are going to do some of the filtration. In a reef tank, all of your rock in the tank is going to do some filtration. So it's a little bit different in those situations, but my thing is I will put as much biomedia into that filter as that filter can take without it offsetting my desired mechanical and chemical media.
Cool.
Yes.
So it shows here we're just shy of 100 likes. So if we get to 130, I've got a special segment planned. So for those of you who haven't liked yet, hit the like button. When we get to 130, special segment. I'm pretty excited for it.
We're 31 people away.
31 people away.
30 people away.
Someone disliked. I think they probably did it by accident. Just change it, and then we'll be one more closer. If you could do that, I'd appreciate it.
Or if you really dislike what you're watching, they're probably not here anymore. They probably hit dislike and then left.
Yeah.
Which, that's okay too. Look, I know we're not going to appeal to everybody. Not everybody likes to have fun. Shots fired.
Speaking of having fun, we have a question here from Varshil MVH Pets, who, in our last stream, we actually subscribed to his channel.
Varshil's got his own YouTube channel that he started.
He's got his own thing going on, so we've subbed to him on our last stream, and we encourage all you guys, go sub to this guy. He's got 119 subs right now.
And he's got the cutest hamster ever.
Yeah, a ton of cool videos, so definitely go sub to Varshil MVH Pets. His question is, do you have any tips for making aquarium videos for my channel, as I want to educate people on aquarium care? And then he has an actual question about fish, which we'll do one at a time. So,
sure.
Tips on making videos for your channel. You wanna? I think that's something we can both. We both.
Brian, why don't you take it from the production standpoint first, and actually filming and stuff, and then I'll talk from a creative standpoint, because I know that's where a lot of us get tapped out.
Fantastic. Okay, so tips for making aquarium videos for your channel to educate people. Number one, you gotta be just yourself. Be fun to watch. Do some cool stuff. It doesn't matter what you're using to film or any of that stuff from a technical point of view. If people like what you have to say and like the way you say it, you're gonna do well. Keep it interesting. Keep it fun. That was for when we first started this. That was like our goal. We had 12 subscribers. We looked at all the other YouTube aquarium videos and channels and said, what can we do that's different? We said, let's make our videos really fun to watch too.
Because everybody's super boring.
Yeah, we don't just want to stand there and drone information. Okay, well, make sure you do this. We want it to be fun.
Yeah.
The more fun you can make it, the better it's going to be. If it's a good time, people are going to stick around and sub to you and watch your stuff. So definitely make it fun. Be yourself. Have fun with it. Definitely what I can say is, film like this, not like this.
Yeah,
film
not
like this.
Landscape
Landscape it.
Not portrait.
Please, yes. That's a huge one, because that always drives me bananas. Not to say you do it, but if you ever do, don't. To have fun with it, man. That's the biggest thing I can say. Have fun and just create. Try and create something every day if you can. Putting out, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be always super interesting content. Just put stuff out every day that is somewhat interesting. A struggle you're having, a problem you've had, how you've decided to fix it, getting new fish, why the choices you're making. Put out a video every day. that's gonna help you grow. What do you say?
Brian got a lot of it. Here's the thing. One of the things I struggle with as a content creator from time to time is feeling like the content that I want to put out, I'm not going to be able to until I have X thing ready or X thing prepared or X amount of money to do it, so on and so forth. But there are so many pieces of content that are so simple to deliver and so easy to get out. Any question you've ever asked anybody, right, to learn about the hobby, to learn whether it's about your hamsters, your turtles, your fish, whatever, any question you've ever had, I can guarantee somebody else has had the exact same question. So if you ask a question and you've learned from it, that question you asked is your next video. Because now you have an answer. Maybe it was a year ago you were asking somebody that question. Maybe it was 10 years ago. Unlikely. You're a young fella. But long story short, anything, any question that's ever been asked can easily be turned into content. If you've ever wondered anything, I bet you somebody else has wondered it. You can wonder out loud to your audience on YouTube. Use your subscribership as, your sounding board. Maybe you have a really cool idea, but you're not sure if it's something you want to do, or you're not even sure about how you want to go about it. Maybe put that out into the YouTubeverse. I just coined that. And
trademark.
And see what your subscribership thinks of it. See what your fans think of it. See what other YouTubers think of it in the comment section. Get people engaged. Don't be afraid to make content that's super, super simple. Not every video needs to be 10 or 15 minutes long and super full of information. It can be so much more fun and simple than that. And I think it's really important not to overwhelm yourself with how complicated or prestigious or over the top an idea for a piece of content has to be. It can be super simple and you can still have a lot of fun with it. It doesn't need to be crazy. Not everything has to be a mega build. It's just do top 10 videos. We do those. I just shot one today.
Just finished one an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, so just keep doing what you're doing. Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Try to put out content frequently and just stick to it, and you're going to do well.
Yeah.
And if you're ever feeling creatively tapped out, one of the things I love to do is just start watching other people's content. Not to rip it off, because that's not the point, but just watching what other people are doing sometimes helps invigorate you and inspire you to come up with something new. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And good luck. He got 4 more subs in this short little time. So
awesome.
Everyone go sub to him. You know what? Let's support these up and coming YouTubers. He's a young little whippersnapper. He's got a long future ahead of him. So let's give him a boost. Go subscribe to his channel.
And it looks like he's got passion, which I
Oh yeah. And his thumbnails, you can see he's trying hard. So let's support him, guys. Next up, I love this. For those of you who are new, we have, I think we need 11 more likes.
11 likes, and we can reveal the new segment.
The segment that we have. So it'll be a lot of fun. So hit that.
They reversed the thumbs down.
Hey!
Fat Rabbit just said it, and I looked down. I'm like, oh, he's right.
Fantastic.
Awesome. I'm assuming Fat Rabbit is a gentleman. I don't know.
Outstanding.
If I'm wrong, Fat Rabbit, feel free to correct me.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to a few more questions while we wait for these few more likes here.
Sweet.
Catastrophishy.
Uh-oh.
I love, by the way,
That's
the
amazing.
term. I don't like the catastrophishy that you're having, but I like the catastrophishy term. Bacteria all died.
Woo!
I don't know why. Cycle won't restart. Ammonia up, so ammo lock and daily water changes.
Yikes.
Yikes, indeed.
Any
idea? What could cause all the bacteria to die?
Crash? Chlorine, something like that in the water could crash. Bacteria don't crash easily. Like, that is not something that's easy to kill.
Right.
I've had canisters filters that have not had power for almost 24 hours and the power kicks back on, and I still didn't lose bacteria, or at least nothing that was measurable. So I have no idea, if I'm being honest. I'd need so much more context than that to even try to dive into it.
That's fair.
That's cray.
Yeah, Janine, if you can hit us up with more context, we'll try and circle back.
If you're not already doing it, though, get a bacterial additive and start adding it on a daily basis. Make sure you're using water conditioner. If you want a really, really good one that I trust a lot is Seachem Prime. Something a little more straightforward and does a little bit less would be the Big Owl's multi-purpose water conditioner. It's also got a slime coat additive, whereas the Prime doesn't. But yeah, that's terrifying. But yeah, just keep doing what you're doing to try to keep the ammonia at bay for now. Use a bacterial additive during those water changes. Use a really high quality, decent water conditioner, and hopefully you'll turn that around. I have no idea what could have caused that, unless like all of a sudden you went from having X amount of chlorine and chloramine in your tap water to your municipality hitting the water system very hard and raising the amount of chlorine and chloramine in water, and you not adding enough water conditioner as a result, not knowing. I'm not quite sure.
All right, so people are saying 131. We just made
nice.
it.
And yes, Steve, if you can reach through the computer, you may touch my hair.
Let me tell you, this is glorious. You'll love it. Maybe that'll be a giveaway.
My hair?
A lock of your... That used to be the thing, a lock of your hair. Back in like the 50s.
Somebody's going to attach it, guaranteed.
Oh, there's definitely creepy things to do with it.
To a little doll and start throwing pins in it. I am not giving my hair away.
I haven't been doing that for years.
No, I'll probably...
worry.
If I ever chop it off, I'll donate it to like any number of like cancer manufacturing people.
All right, so let's see here. We had another, before we do this new segment, we got another super chat in from Apex Fizz, so thank you so much. Says, hey guys, you inspire me all the time. Thank you. That's very nice. I recently just upgraded from 30 gallon to 150 gallon.
Awesome!
I keep trying to spread the love and share you guys as much as possible everywhere.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything you do. Oh, wow. That's really nice. Thank you, Apex
I really
Fizz.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's awesome having you here stream after stream and supporting us like that. That does really help, and we do really, really appreciate that. And all of you guys who show up to these and participate.
We notice the people who show up often.
Oh, yeah,
we
definitely.
really do. In fact, we notice mostly when you don't show up.
Yeah.
On the days you don't show up,
it makes us sad.
Where's Magic today? Like, where'd Fat Rabbit go?
Yeah, for sure. This person, Sierra Amna Arsalan, earlier said, okay, bye, I'm going to Big Al's now. Hi, I'm back from Big Al's.
How was it? What'd you get?
Yeah, let us know.
Anything cool over there? Which location?
All right, so we are just over that 130 mark.
Hashtag Team Trees indeed.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
If you guys don't know about Team Trees, go to teamtrees.org. The goal is to raise $20 million to plant 20 million trees. I think they're well over $10 million now. So that's 10 million trees planted. This is basically to help fight climate change and lower the amount of carbon, which is a greenhouse gas, which is causing our planet to warm, and we emit a ton of it. Yeah. So if you haven't already, go to teamtrees.org. You can support there to help make a difference. This isn't a solution, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Better than nothing.
It's a huge statement to show that, as a planet and as a community, as a people, we recognize climate change as an issue, and we want to take steps to change that. So teamtrees.org.
For sure. Sierra says, I bought a 13.5 gallon Fluval Evo.
Yes!
Awesome. Send us photos when it's all set up. We'd love to see it.
That's amazing.
Fat Rabbit says, I'm up at 12 tanks because of these guys. Too inspirational.
I'm so glad to hear it.
Let's see. What else? Red Raven.
Yeah!
Super chat. Hi, I'm here. Red Raven. It's been a while. How are you, man?
How's it going?
Let's see here. I wish I had Big Al's. Who is Big Al? Big Al is a person.
Yeah, his name is Al Sol.
People call you Big Al a lot in like comments. Like,
they think
hey, Big
I
Al.
don't own the company. Yeah, right? I just work for the guy.
They say, hey, Big Al, but how do I do this or that in the comments? And I think a lot of people do. They don't know Big Al's the company. Think you're Big Al.
I'm not very big. I'm tall, but
and you're not Al. You fit none of the requirements.
I'm also
to be Big
Thomas.
Al.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, Big Al is an actual person. Started the company like 40 some odd years ago, and he still runs it to this day. So that's Big Al.
Family-owned business.
So with that said, we reached 130, just barely. We made it.
Let's do it.
We're there. Okay, so special segment. I'm gonna move this. Did you bring a product to review today?
I did not bring a product to review because as more and more things were taken out of the basement to the garage, I have less and less access to anything I own at this point.
Don't worry about it. That's fine. We're not in any trouble here. Can you just do me a favor and can you move those the things out of the way there?
I'm so worried.
Just the M&Ms. The lid. It's in the way. It's gonna sully the. We don't want to sully this overhead shot I have. So we do have a special thing to do today. Close your eyes for me. Close your eyes.
What is happening?
Don't open them yet. Don't cheat.
They're not open. I'm not
Don't
cheating.
cheat.
I don't like spoiling things for myself.
This is not for you to see. Okay, so everyone in the audience just saw that. Don't open yet.
I'll open when you tell me to open.
Fantastic. So we're going to do a special unboxing today, everyone. I'm very excited for it. I know Thomas is going to be have a good time with this. Let me just make sure everything's set here so we can keep focus properly. Yep, very good. Okay, so Thomas.
Yes.
You can go ahead and open your eyes.
Really?
You guys, I wish you could have seen his
I'm gonna
face.
friggin' cry.
That was amazing. Okay, so it is time. We are going to unbox something special today with all of our lovely subs here with us.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Dun da 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 da.
Oh man.
Da 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 da.
Watch, it's just a chocolate bar.
I would still be okay with that. I love chocolate bars.
Oh man.
Not as much as I love this.
No, this is awesome. Like, this is something that Brian and I have been aiming towards for such a long time. And you've just done something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. You had an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. We know that numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope that you don't lose sight of the reality behind that 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel has been touched by what you created. They were inspired, challenged, or entertained. I'm going to stop reading this so I don't tear up on camera here.
We all did it, guys.
Yes. Oh, it's like a Bristol.
Oh, that is like good cardstock. That's going in a frame for sure.
Susan Wojcicki,
yep.
CEO of YouTube. Oh my.
And there it is.
I guess this is who made it.
Sweet, congratulations.
Oh, this is so cool. Guys. Oh, so shiny. Look at that. Presented to Big Al's for passing 100,000 subscribers. We could not have done this without you guys. This is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for the studio to get finished so we can hang this up and have it in all of our videos and show you guys what you helped us accomplish.
There it is.
That is so much fun.
We got it.
I was not expecting that at all.
Good. That was perfect.
There's one thing Fat Rabbit. Thank you so much, man.
We got it.
Would you like to hold it? It's so cold.
I want to thank my mom, my dad. I want to thank this guy right here, the big man upstairs. My son, he's upstairs. He's really big. Thank you guys, all of you guys. Seriously, this is because of you. Obviously, this is yours as much as it is ours.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna hang it in our video studio, and you'll be able to see it in every single vid. Yeah, thank you.
We did it.
We did it. Thanks, guys. Amazing. So we're gonna put that there just to look at it.
Just to look at. I love it. Here, take this away.
Yeah, before
take it away.
Too emotional here, and let's give everyone one last look at that thing. So, thanks, guys. Awesome. Very cool. And thanks for getting us to 130 likes. Oh, yeah, everyone fireworks and happy. So, yeah, we can't thank all you guys enough. That's amazing.
It took every ounce of my being not to tear up.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I've had this sitting in my house for a few days now. Just waiting. I was like, should I tell him it's here? Should I not tell him it's here? Don't open it, Brian. Don't open it.
Yeah. Well, you knew what it was,
yeah,
right?
Of course I knew what it was. I had to get it here.
No, that's nuts.
Yeah. So that is awesome. So thank you guys again for all of your support there. We do really appreciate it. Good job, man. Good job, you guys.
Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, so back to our stream here. Okay, so we have a super chat from Aquatic Haven saying, any chance you'll be doing a shrimp tank soon? Shrimp tank.
I'm going to encourage Brian to keep shrimps in one of these tanks because we got 3 small tanks, and shrimps are such a great nano tank inhabitant. It just makes sense. So yes, we will put shrimp in tanks. It'll probably be one of these smaller ones because any larger tanks I tend to put fish in that would probably munch on shrimp.
Now the point of these tanks for me is the idea again that I'm not an aquarist.
Yep.
I want something that's going to be fairly simple, easy to take care of, that my kids can enjoy as well. Does shrimp fall into that category?
Believe it or not, they really do for a number of reasons. Now I wouldn't generally suggest anybody starts like their first tank just get shrimp because they can be a little bit more delicate. But if you have a small planet aquarium, they are almost effortless. You put them in, they're going to eat decaying plant matter. They're going to eat basically any plant-based fish food you put in. They'll eat other shrimp if the shrimp don't survive. Or,
Right.
Other small meaty foods they will even sometimes make some use of. So no, they're just going to like live in that planet tank and they will propagate. Like it's basically an easy button once the parameters are correct. It's just making sure that you have those necessary parameters. They do prefer softer water a lot of the time, and so on and so forth. So we'll make sure that you got me, Brian. I'm right here. You can do shrimp.
I will be calling you. You can, or after all our streams, like, hey Thomas, do you mind just doing a quick water change on this guy?
Yeah, Brian, get the camera. I'm gonna film, and then I'll guide you through it.
That sounds awful,
sucker.
All right. Someone's here saying Brian finished the studio. John B, I'm not doing it. I'm not remodeling his studio myself.
Yeah,
he's got a team doing it.
Yeah, no, the insurance company has an awesome team. The company's called ProClean or something like that, something to that effect. I've seen the truck so many times, I've just completely forgotten the name. Anyways, James is the manager heading off the whole studio,
operation, yeah,
and he's been phenomenal. The only thing that really set us back was how long it took the insurance company to finally give us a go-ahead.
Yep.
But ever since he got the go-ahead, I basically told him what floor I wanted in there, what color paint we're doing, and it has just been people in and out of my house day in, day out for the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks now. So no, they're PuroClean, that's it. PuroClean's doing an awesome job. James is doing a phenomenal job. His team have been very professional, great to have over. The drywallers actually brought chocolate for my kids every single day that they came.
Nice.
Yeah, so
nice touch.
Not his problem, and it's happening. It was just blame insurance companies for being slow. We're getting there.
Cool. So yeah, I'm not doing it myself. So don't get that in your head that I'm like responsible for getting his studio up and running, because that is not the case.
I think he's just saying like, get this going.
Oh well, I guess. Oh, hopefully, maybe that's
once
what you're saying.
The studio's going and that's mess is figured out, then getting some tanks in the background here and Brian getting those tanks set up, we'll worry about that then.
It will happen. I keep saying it, and I'm not lying. It's gonna happen at some point. Yes. Fat Rabbit, again, thank you for that super chat,
that was
by the way.
Thank you for being here. You're always here. You're always supporting us. Absolutely love it. There's so many of you who do that, and it is incredible. We sincerely appreciate it.
Yeah, it says that was a lot of hours of dedication. It was almost 5 years of dedication now. 5 years we've been working at this. Yeah.
So 12 to 100,000 subs, 100,000 subs in 5 years. The crazy part is we went from basically 45-ish, 50-ish thousand subs to 100,000 in the last year.
Yeah, no, and I'm hoping it's going to just grow exponentially.
Like 200,000 by next year kind of thing?
I would hope so. I mean, I'm hoping, yeah. Like as it
with your help, we could hit 1 million.
Yeah. Well, that's the goal. Get one of these gold play buttons to hang on the wall next to it.
And the gold ones are even bigger, I think.
I'm not sure, but
every time I see somebody with a silver and then a gold play button, like the gold's always, I don't know.
Yeah, anyway.
I don't know a lot about this. I'm just
very happy to have
blown away.
Yeah. It's been a lot of hard work and 5 long years, and again, it's always hard building a channel like this when you're like under a brand and a company name, but so it's been a slower process for us, and I think for a lot of other, but we got there, so we're very happy, and again, thank you to all you guys for that. All right, what's next? You want to hit some more questions up?
Sure, let's do some more questions.
We've only got a few minutes left because we have to do our international calls.
Right.
Before you take off out of your day. So let's do a few more questions.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? We have a few more. Should we do a few more React or just questions?
No, let's do the last of the Reacts you have lined up here.
Fantastic. Okay.
And then we'll do a set of questions.
Sounds good to
like maybe 5 or 6, and then we'll call it a day because by then my bladder will have bursted.
That's fair. Okay. Let's not let that happen in my basement.
I've had a Gatorade, then a coffee.
Then I'll have to get those.
And I'm working on a water.
I'll have to get that coming over here to redo my floors.
Already are.
Okay, this one's from Kenny.
I'll try not to piddle.
Try not to. Yeah, so this one's a video here.
Indoor pond.
And I do believe that Kenny has an email that he sent with it where he does talk a bit about it. So let me just have a quick look-see here. Kenny says... Hi, Thomas and Brian. My name is Kenny Wong from Malaysia. I was given this old 16-gallon bowl patio fish tank as a gift. I had no idea what I could do. I had no idea what I can do more with it than what it already has now. Could you please give suggestions for improvement? 3 goldfish, 1 big lionhead goldfish, 1 black lionhead goldfish in it. So 3. One's lionhead. You get it.
I can't tell how big it is.
And it doesn't really say here. Using a submersible pump filter with sponge.
Yeah.
Tied up with it, which is what the local store taught me. Seeing most of your videos are about normal fish tanks, hoping you can do some video about bowl patio fish tanks too.
Yeah, so what we would normally classify this as is a container pond, is what you would call it. Container ponds can be any number of things, half of a barrel, a fountain similar to this, literally a wooden box with a pond liner in it on your deck. So a container pond is usually a small pond, This might, like, I can't really tell the size of it. The shoe rack is just far enough away, and the goldfish don't look mature necessarily. They may keep growing. So you may be pretty heavily stocked in that container so far. It's really honestly hard for me to tell. So you may want to reduce the number of fish and go down to 3 if they're going to keep growing on you. Beyond that, one thing I would suggest is maybe hanging a light above it and then adding a surface plant like frogbit or duckweed or whatever to help sink some of that extra nutrients that the goldfish are going to be putting out, because goldfish are heavy eaters and heavy poopers, so they tend to be a little bit on the dirty side just because they can process a lot of food, those little guys. And you may even be able to do small containers or pots inside with plants, and you could use margin plants like pond plants or river's edge type plants that are going to stick out of the water as well. You could have a small container with some rooting pothos, and then that way the pothos can hang out the side or whatever. But I would say even just starting with some of those floating plants like a frogbit or whatever with a very simple light suspended over them. That's a great way to kind of elevate this display. You could do bamboo if you wanted. Bamboo's pretty forgiving. Like, usually you don't even really need to pot them. The pot's more just to keep them upright because I can see that the bottom of that bowl is curved in.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to have anything standing otherwise. But yeah, that's probably where I would start. And like I said, I'm not sure how big it is or how old or large those goldfish are already, but I have a feeling you're probably going to go down to 2 or 3 goldfish as they get to adult size. But it's a really cool looking container pond. It looks like a lot of fun, and it looks like it's got a lot of potential. It is an odd shape and an odd size, and that makes it sometimes hard to be a little bit creative with it. But and on the flip side, you get to be creative in a totally different way than you would with just a glass rectangle. So yeah.
Neato. All right, so thanks so much, Kenny,
from Malaysia.
From Malaysia,
Awesome.
Kenny. Okay, so next up we have Junji. Now, let me put it up here on the screen for you first, and you can have a look.
Nice.
And then I will, throw it up here for everyone else to see. Shazam. Okay, so this is from Junji.
Very nice.
Yeah, let me see if there's any...
Off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, and you know what? No context whatsoever, just the tank. So you're free to say whatever you want.
A bunch of really nice looking plants. Looks like they've got maybe an ISTA CO2 system in there. They've got a feeding cone for some live blackworms or bloodworms or something to that effect. They've obviously got a filter on there. Maybe it's an aquaclear or something similar. The aquascape is great. I love that the driftwood is slanting down from the top right of the tank down to the bottom left. A little bit of rock. The rock's doing the exact same thing, aiding in that whole kind of slanted look to the aquarium. They've got, I think, was probably dwarf baby tears in the front of the tank acting as a carpet. Then they've got a mid... I can't tell if that's the same as what I've got. Styrogene repens in the bottom right-hand corner there. They've got hair grass or something similar in the bottom left. And then we've got some larger Anubias and stuff. It looks like maybe also some Java fern, and then a Amazon sword as our taller plants. And what I think they're plant hydrocotyle as well. The little discs looking ones in the center where the wood is, that looks like hydrocotyle potentially. So the driftwood looks like basically upside down tree stumps or naked trees. Like the branches are all naked. If you notice, they've already got some moss up there, whether it's vesicular or taxophyllum, whether it's like a flame moss or a weeping moss or Java moss, whatever. I'm willing to bet that their goal is to have the moss cover those branches and trim it up so that it looks like 2 kind of like bonsai trees, which moss does a really good job of if you want to manicure it to look kind of like a forest. So I see all of the potential for this tank and where it's going. It's probably going to get there pretty quick. I bet you by now this tank has been like overgrown and trimmed back like 10 times if it's a year old.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
So lots of potential, lots of fun. One thing I will say is the background looks like there was a liquid or something that got between it and the glass and stuck it partially to the back of the tank. There are background adhesives, which are almost like a type of oil. So it's not a true adhesive. You can peel it off and clean it up and put it back. It doesn't leave residue, like glue residue. that will make that background attached to the glass crystal clear, so you can see the picture perfectly without any bubbles or air pockets or anything like that, which I think is what I'm seeing on the background right now. I don't know if water accidentally got back there and stuck the background in the back of the tank. That can happen at times, but if you want to intentionally do it using one of those background adhesives, I think SR Aquaristic maybe makes one. That'll make it crystal clear. I think it does, that background does aid this aquarium, because it looks like the driftwood's in similar places, and you may even have used the background and then created your skit based on where things are in the background, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, just go straight to a black background. Either way works. I think the background you chose is actually quite nice. Just maybe resolve that issue with the clarity of the background, and you'll be in perfect condition.
Awesome. Thanks for sending it in. To everyone who sends these in, thank you so much. Okay, we have one more to go. This one's from Gene, so I'll put it up for you to see, and then I will put it up for our viewers here. This one's from Gene. Let me find it here, up for everyone else. Now let's see here if Gene actually included anything. I got these two phones I'm trying to juggle here. We got a couple more submissions I want to throw up here before we're done. Gene, where are you? Gene. Here we go. Wanted to share this aquaponics aquarium I got myself into. I use the plant Pathos to help clean the fish waste. However, the interesting thing is that not a lot of plants grow in the tank because of how many nutrients it needs. So I stumbled across Big Al's fake plants video, I'm guessing, and I was sold using only 2 kinds of fake plants. A little Christmas moss for the driftwood, and only corridoras, so they have all the aquarium for them. So that's that. They loved your...
I dig it. I love how that video is just, that's one of the first ones we did, and it is just carrying on through time.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
We get comments on that video a lot.
Yeah.
I love using Pathos as a nutrient sink in an aquarium that you don't feel like keeping live plants in, because Pathos is such an easy plant to keep alive. It does not mind having its root system completely submerged in water. And it just grows in like every situation. It's not a fast growing plant unless you give it a ton of light and a lot of nutrients and stuff, but it is very, very hard to make unhappy. So as a result, it works really, really well. You can actually see like the spaghetti nest of Pathos, roots in the back of the tank, especially on the left-hand side there. I noticed pretty quickly once I looked at the Christmas moss plastic plants that you would use plastic plants, because believe it or not, like Ludwigia will grow like that and look like that. That's a pretty accurate representation of Ludwigia. So it wasn't until I saw that moss that I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's all fake in there. So I love that you've got the look of a planted tank, the benefits of having a nutrient export of a planted tank without having live plants in the tank, because they're on top of the tank. It's really, really cool. It's a nice, like, really busy little setup. I love that you've prioritized your Cory cats and given them all they need in terms of space. The colored gravel's really fun. Cory cats usually prefer a sandy substrate for their soft barbles. But if yours are doing okay on that substrate so far and they don't seem to be having any barbel issues, then just keep at it. If you do notice that they're getting any kind of abrasions or anything on their face or barbels from digging around down there, you can always swap out the substrate to sand. It's a little bit of a messy process, but might be worth it if you want to make sure your Corys have the best of the best of the best. But yeah, it's a fun little tank. I really enjoy it. I love that it's wearing a hat made completely of Plecos.
Yeah. That's pretty nice. And one of our subs here says, whoa, half the tank is bright as day, the other is dark as night. Makes a cool effect.
Doesn't it?
Pretty
it does.
Neat. Yeah, pretty neat. Awesome. Okay, well, that's it for our React portion of this. But with that said, we just got an email submission now I want to share.
Okay.
And you're going to have to try and see it here, and or even on the screen here. This is the...
plants like Anubias and Java Fern, they cannot have their rhizome, or that part where all of the leaves attach. That cannot be submersed under gravel, or you will choke it out and it can cause it to die off. You only want that white rooting, that root system coming off of that rhizome to go into the substrate or to go onto driftwood or something like that. If you bury it, things like this could happen. If this is a direct result of the driftwood, not entirely sure, but you got to be careful with rhizome plants not to bury them past the roots. You only want the roots in, the rhizome's got to stay above. But yeah, like Zane is saying in the chat there, it does look like fungus. It does. Yeah, it's either bacterial or fungal, but given that it looks like a group of lances, basically.
Yeah.
Bacteria is usually like fluffy and sometimes wavy and relatively clear. Fungus often grows like shards, like groups of shards. So you can see that it all looks like very pin straight coming out and almost rigid. That's like a telltale sign of fungus. When you see fungus even on fish, when it's displaying itself on the outside of the fish, it will often look like that cottony but like rigid spikes sticking out.
All right, well, hopefully problem solved, or at least problem identified.
Yeah. So reach out to our support team, and we'll see what we have that might be able to remedy a fungal issue on plants. I'm going to be honest, I've never treated plants for fungus. I haven't.
Zane's saying if I were you, I'd replace that ASAP before it spreads.
Yeah. There are things you can try to do to remedy it. Some things I do to try to treat plants before using them is weak bleach solutions. You'll want to do some research on how to properly make a weak bleach solution for dipping plants. You got to be very careful with it. So don't just go doing it willy-nilly. Do the research first. I'd have to do a whole video on it. I'm not going to explain it all here right now. But there are recipes online to show you how to do that. I often do it when setting up vivariums to sterilize plants before I use them to make sure they don't have anything on them I don't want there. That might help with a fungal infection. I can't guarantee it will. I've never battled a fungal infection, but look it up. Hopefully that might help save what you have left of your Anubias. Because they are a rhizome plant, if there are parts of the rest of the plant that aren't covered in fungus at all, literally cut the plant with the fungus part. You want to cut it past the fungus. So the fungus will stop and it'll look like good plant. Cut a few millimeters or a quarter of an inch past the fungus, and then try to keep the part of the plant that still looks healthy and throw the entire part that has fungus out. That's another approach you can try. Rhizome plants are pretty forgiving in that way. Stem plants can be similar.
Cool. Thanks for sending in that photo. Again, that definitely helps. And maybe on these live streams, if we can do this more and like solve these problems, in these longer form streams, we can hopefully solve these problems for you. Yeah. So thanks to everyone who sent in their photos. The winners who sent in their photos of their ProClear tank or of the Philstar. Thanks for sending those in. Thanks to all you guys for showing up today. And thank you so much for this. This is from you guys.
It is.
YouTube sent it, but this is from you guys. So thank you so much. We really do appreciate it so very, very much.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this for a long time. It's been a long time coming, and we can't wait. We're really hoping this channel just explodes from here because we do work really hard. So again, anything you guys can do to help, whether that's sharing the channel with your channel or videos with your friends, family, anyone who's into the hobby.
Liking
everything.
Subscribing if you're not subscribed. There's so many people who get our videos recommended to them and they watch them over and over and just don't subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing.
Yeah.
And really it helps us tremendously.
Yeah, that's right. And we had someone asking like, hey, do you guys go to Aquashella or anything? We don't, but you know what we'd love? We unfortunately can't make it happen just on our own. If we're invited somewhere by whatever organization or event, I think could definitely make it happen and go there. So the more noise you guys make about us out there saying, hey, bring Thomas out to Aquashella or wherever, make noise. And hopefully we end up getting an invite to anything like that, and we'll show up.
I'd love to meet some of you guys. I was actually at MACNA just by chance. I got invited to go to MACNA, so I went by myself. And I did meet a few of you there, and it was a ton of fun. I love seeing you guys. It's shaking hands or hugging, depending on what kind of person you are. And
you're a hugger.
I am a hugger.
Yeah.
It's harmless hugging. I just get so happy and excited, and I'm like, yay!
Yeah, but the more noise you make about us, the more likely
we'll get out there, and I'll get to meet some of you in person. Brian can.
I film the whole thing. Exactly. We'd love to do more collabs with other YouTubers as well. So make some noise on their channels if you're interested in seeing some of that, and we'll reach out. We'd love to keep doing really, really fun, interesting stuff. So
absolutely.
All that said and done, thanks you guys again for joining us today. Thanks for the super chats. That always helps us out. Check us out on BigLsPets.com for if you need it to pick up anything for your aquariums, for your fish friends. Check out BigLsPets.com because that also helps us. The more people we can send there, the better it is. So
the prices are great. Shipping is quick. Shipping is free most of the time. Like, go crazy. If you buy your stuff online already, have a look at Big Al's if you haven't seen BigAlsPets.com.
And when you go there, tell them we sent you, because again, that helps us. The more people we can send there, the more awesome stuff we can do and get more of these awesome, cool play buttons and whatnot. So keep supporting us. We do really appreciate that. What's next? Another 2 weeks. Join us another 2 weeks for another live stream. And check out, keep your eyes peeled for our top 10 video coming out soon, and so much other awesome content. So all that said, I think that's about it for me. Anything else on your end?
Just keep on tanking, guys. Keep on tanking to 1 million bajillion subscribers. Thank you so much. This is awesome.
We're amazed.
Ah.
Bye, guys.